I'm Will Peeler, and I'd like to welcome you into this edition of Tailgate Talks, where we sit on a tailgate and, well, talk. And I'm joined today by Aaron Harmon of Bison Berry Farms. Well, I'm here with Aaron Harmon, co-owner of Bison Berry Farms. Aaron, tell us a little bit about you, your background, what led you to this spot today.
Well, I'm a custom home builder. I got a business partner named Jared Zank, and he's actually part of the farm too. So we started out building for different companies and decided to go out on our own. And as we were doing that, Jared actually found this property, and we looked at it for about a year. And during that time, my brother, who's part of the farm, moved down from Virginia, and he's always wanted to raise bison. So I said, well, I'll do that with you. And we looked at lots of different properties, and so we just settled on this one. We bit the bullet and jumped right in.
Well, tell us about Bison Berry Farms. Well, obviously, you mentioned bison, blackberries. What led to such a unique combination of product offerings there?
So this was a commercial blackberry farm. He supplied to, big distributors. The public wasn't allowed to come on the property. So we bought it and thought, well, it's such a nice piece of property. We're right off of 26. We'd open it up as a U-pick. We didn't want to do production blackberries, but we all liked blackberries, so we thought, we'll continue that on. And then, like I said, my brother wanted to do bison. So we dialed the blackberries back to, we're between 7 and 8 acres of blackberries. We still pick and sell commercially just to local farm stands, and we're open for U-pick 5 days a week.
For U-pick, is there a certain season? Are there times of year where it's better to come out and pick, or the blackberries? What's typical growing season for blackberries?
We have 3 varieties of blackberries. We have Primark 45s, Osage, and Vaughns. And they actually ripen at different times. So right now our Primarks are in the front field here. They're pretty much done. They may put on another crop. It's one of the nice things about them is there's a possibility of cropping twice a year. The Osage came on early, they're done, and now we're picking in the Vaughns. And the Vaughns will probably last us another 3 to 4 weeks. They do taste a little bit different, but everyone asks what's your favorite one, and it just depends on the day and the one that I picked. Yeah, so our season goes from probably the end of May to the first part of August.
Okay.
On the blackberries.
Does it take a lot of tending, it's not like you shut down in August and come back out here in May. What do you have to do throughout the year to keep everything ready for the next season?
That would be great, but as soon as the blackberries, the cane that fruits, as soon as you've picked that fruit, that cane starts to die. So you got to cut that cane out and let the new canes grow. And then the new canes are what you're going to get your fruit on the next year. So we're constantly pruning out, and it takes a while to do about 8 acres of blackberries to prune those all out. And even right now, the new canes are growing, and so we're going through and we're tipping those. So just the very end of them we tip off, and that encourages lateral growth, because you're only going to get your berries on the ends of those growths. So if we just let them grow long, you have a 14-foot long cane with a little bit of berries on the end. So it's a continual process taking care of them.
Blackberries, that's typical for this area. You see them wild, you see maybe some U-pick operations, but bison, that's definitely not something that we see a lot of in our AgSouth footprint. So tell us a little bit about bison. What do you grow bison for? What's the main purpose there?
So we grow them for the meat.
Okay.
We'll process them. We try to harvest as much as we can off of them.
Is it advantageous to beef, to cattle beef? What's the advantages of
it's
bison?
It's a leaner and higher protein meat.
So if you prepared it as a burger, as a steak, does it look the same as regular, or is it a little bit different coloring? Or
it looks the same. It's probably a little bit redder.
Okay.
When you're preparing it, you don't want to overcook it because it's so lean.
Okay. All right, the big question. I've seen pictures of the bison. It looks like a buffalo to me. What's the difference in a bison and a buffalo?
Okay, so A lot of Americans will call bison buffalo. They are not buffalo, but we call them the American buffalo, or they're all bison. Their genus and species is bison. A buffalo, when you think of a buffalo, you should think more of like a water buffalo. Very different looking animal. More cow-like looking, wider snout and everything. So a true buffalo is like your water buffalo from Asia or Africa. And then what we have here, you see out in Yellowstone and wandering around are actually bison.
Okay.
So they are different, and they're different than cows. They grow different, they act different. They only calf once a year. So the process of building your herd up takes a little bit longer than it does with cattle.
Well, you said your background is not in agriculture. You didn't grow up a farmer. As you transitioned into what is now a very large commercial farming operation for this area, what do you see as some of the challenges that new farmers face as they try to enter the business?
Well, one of the challenges we face is just knowledge. Luckily, there's a lot of places to get knowledge. Our Clemson extension agent, he has been a huge help for us. Coming out and educating us on the diseases that the plants can get, the pests that come in. But it was tough because it sounded like he was talking another language to me when we started out. But he stuck with us, and we've also found that other farms have been super helpful. The challenge is always time and Mother Nature. You got no control over Mother Nature. What's going to happen is going to happen, and time is something you just got to buckle down and do. It's hard work sometimes, but it's rewarding for sure.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I mean, obviously, you're in business to try to make money. You have customers coming in. But besides the monetary part, what are some of the benefits that you've seen from that transition into this other line of business?
Relationships that you develop, lessons that you learn. So we've been able to make some new friends with other farmers that are selling their product here at our farm during the week. We don't do any vegetables, but we've got a farmer down the road that's what he does, and he is looking for an outlet to sell them. And we've partnered with him because everybody wants to know, what else do you have? You got blackberries, what else do you have? So that's been really satisfying, growing those relationships and seeing the people when they come out to UPIC or when we have one of our events, the kids getting the opportunity to come out and see what it's like on a farm and see the chickens and the ducks and the bison. So to see all those things, it's just kind of nice. You see families doing stuff together, which is, I guess you don't see it as often these days. So that's been pretty rewarding to see.
Well, you're an AgSouth customer, at which we very much appreciate your business. Tell us about how you came to find AgSouth as a partner.
So as a builder, we run into clients all the time that are buying larger tracts of land, and conventional banks they don't like to deal with those larger pieces of property. So going into it, I knew AgSouth did those kind of loans on larger tracts of land. So they were the first people we called up and got talking to. As
you dealt with Farm Credit, what were some of the advantages of borrowing from Farm Credit that you saw?
I think just the ease. It was not difficult at all, and the fact that they're willing to finance a property this size that was a farm. They took that into account, that it have crops already on it. We even did a lot of the equipment with them, so they just made it really easy, quick.
We're proud of the fact that a lot of our lenders have a background in agriculture or farming, or are currently farming themselves. How important is it to you to have a loan officer who understands ag and can speak the language of ag?
I think it's pretty important. It's very helpful. Amanda helped us with this, actually. Our cash flow happens at different times of the year, basically when the season's happening. So our availability to pay on loans, it's up and down, it's secular. So she's worked great with us with that and helped us having a program that works for our crops and when they come in season and when we have that cash flow. I don't think if she didn't understand that she'd be as open and willing. And just knowing the terminology, I think is a big help, and knowing that weather affects things and having that knowledge, it's definitely makes it easier to have that understanding of where this client's coming from and where this lender's coming from, and working as a team. I think that's the biggest help is the team aspect of it.
Well, Aaron, I appreciate
you did a great job
taking your time this morning to
no
talk
problem.
to us.
Thanks for coming out.
A website.
We do have a website. It's under construction.
So the best way for people to find specific directions is to just Google Bison Berry.
Google.
One word.
Follow us on Facebook.
Okay.
My wife does a fantastic job of keeping our Facebook up and information sent out that way. Facebook, Instagram, social media is probably the best way as we develop our website. And even when it's developed, probably social media is going to be the best way.
Sounds good. Appreciate your time this morning.
Well, thank you.